Come back and look at things.
Call to order the regular common council meeting, Monday, September 17th, 7 p.m. Roll call.
McIntyre?
Yes.
Esau?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Olson?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wellnuts? Burdick?
Yes.
Pledge allegiance is next. Pledge allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Confirmation of appropriate meeting notice.
Meeting was noticed on Friday, September 14th. Agenda is posted at the post office, library, and city hall.
Council acceptance of agenda.
Motion to accept.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Personal appearances. Anyone in the audience wish to speak on anything that's not on the agenda? Okay, we'll move on to the minutes from September 4th.
Motion to approve.
Second. Any corrections or additions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Finance Committee and Mark.
Make a motion to pay request number 3 from Concrete Service Company for the 2018 sidewalk replacement project in the amount of $18,651.49.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Wellnuts?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Olson?
Yes.
Burdick?
Yes.
McIntyre?
Yes.
Esau?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Make a motion to approve a change order number 1 from G. Fox & Son to increase the Broadway and Chaucer improvement project costs in the amount of $13,792.88.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Wellnuts?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Burdick?
Yes.
McIntyre?
Yes.
Esau?
Yes.
Olson?
Yes.
Motion passes.
I will make a motion to approve a pay request number 3 from G. Fox & Son for the Broadway and Chaucer improvement project in the amount of $100,787.98.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Wellnuts?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
McIntyre?
Yes.
Esau?
Yes.
Olson?
Yes.
Burdick?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to approve bills and payroll in the amount of $362,118.70.
Second.
Any questions on the bills? Hearing none, roll call.
Wellnuts?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Esau?
Yes.
Olson?
Yes.
Burdick?
Yes.
McIntyre?
Yes. Motion passes.
Motion to approve a temporary Class B license for the EHHS Sunshine Committee for October 11, 2018.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Oh, what is it? What is the HSS?
Edgerton Hospital and Health Services.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
I don't know, was there anything on there about the address or where it's at or anything? But should be on the application.
Yeah, I think it said Sherman Road.
It is 11,
Yeah.
11101 North Sherman.
Yes, they're already in.
Then you got to know what that address is too, so.
That's all I have for finance.
Okay, we got a roll call on that
Oh,
one
I'm
yet.
sorry.
Wellnuts?
Yes.
Olson? Yes. Burdick?
Yes.
McIntyre?
Yes.
Esau?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Motion passes.
No, that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Anything to bring from utilities?
Yeah, I do. We met last Monday. We had a really good meeting, well laid out budget from their staff and so forth. It was really, really proactive, and we decided also not to have any water and sewer increase for next year. So that's really some positive stuff.
All right, thank you. Anything, we do have public works. We just had that tonight.
Yes, we had a meeting tonight, and we discussed an overlay project on South Main Street. Some future budget items. That's all I have.
I'm sorry,
Don't want to do consider the South Main Street?
This is more than just a report in this case, because there's an item, so we would need to take some action on that.
Oh, okay, so, I believe the motion was, Mark, you made the motion, do you want to know what?
Yeah, I will make the motion to resurface South Main Street using funds from the to increase budget funds for 2019 and 20 to cover the, I don't know what the amount was,
$14,000.
14,000
Estimated, yeah.
each.
Obviously, you will have to award the bid. So what we
Right.
know now is we're going to bid the project, we know where you're going to fund it, and then it'll all come back, so you'll have the final say on it.
Right. This is just to get it to go to the budget council, I'm sorry.
What's the motion?
Yeah.
It is to fund the South Main resurfacing project, $14,000 for 2019 and 2020 budget cycle, to add that in addition to the normal street budget. Does that make sense? Whatever the motion was at Public Works.
So it's to do the project, and then it's going to be funded using $14,000 from 2018 funds? And then-
2018, not 2019.
Well, I'm going to go on. 2018, and then in 2019 and 20, the budgets will be increased, the road budget will be increased to cover the third of the cost for each year. So we're using 14 as an estimated number,
So we're actually doing the project in 18?
correct?
Okay.
And we are going to use funding from the 18 budget and from
Just a minute.
future budgets.
I guess
Okay.
you weren't here at the earlier meeting, I
No,
apologize.
I wasn't. So we're going to,
Do the South Main overlay project.
so in 2018, do the South Main overlay project with funds from 2019 and 2020?
Correct.
And that was from the,
It will be from the general fund, the road project, the $50,000 820 account. So we're basically paying ourselves as the concept from future budget years, but we're doing the project this year.
okay. Thank you.
Now, is there a second?
I'll second. Or whoever wants to.
Is there discussion?
This project here is, the South Main has been one of the, for our staff, was one of the most hard to upkeep streets in the city, with the Indian Ford Bridge being completed probably late October, early November. They were into some problems down there, and it'll increase the traffic on South Main even more than it is now. And that'll keep the street in better repair over the next 3 years. I take it, it'd just be a 1-inch overlay in the drive lanes from the center of the road over, not to the whole width of the street, and hopefully that'll last. That's the concept behind it. And then it'll be all ripped out in 2000, whenever we do the utilities.
So it'll be done yet this year?
In 18.
And I apologize, I missed the meeting. I should have been here because I'm pretty boisterous about South Main, so I apologize.
I almost missed it too, so.
Yeah, we're waiting for you.
Yeah. And there's still no parking on South Main? Yeah. Well, did you guys talk any more about that, or?
No,
Okay.
not tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Just basically because there wasn't any, we don't know on the bridge. The last we heard was November 1st or something, because they had problems.
Yeah, but we had talked at one point, I mean, could it be continue to be no parking afterwards?
Oh, you mean keep it that way?
Yeah, I just don't want to forget about that. Thank you.
Would parking impact where the overlay went? Would you want to lean it to the no parking side if you were to allow parking on one side, so that the traffic could not have to dodge the 1 inch?
You need to hit the driving lane, so.
That 1-inch overlay, what you mentioned, would that be tapered though? So it won't be that lip like that Chris mentioned?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
a good point there though.
that makes it smooth.
Okay.
Eggs are done.
Okay. And that way it'll be good if the grant problem creeps up on us again and we don't have the grant for a while in the future, which I don't know how far we can keep pushing that back, but
Yeah, nice
with the
job
other projects underneath
doing
there.
that.
Any further discussion?
Yeah, could I hear that motion back one more time? Honestly,
So mean.
never mind, I got
In
it.
2018, do the South Main Street Overlay Project with funding increases in 2019 and 2020 from the Road Improvement Fund in the general fund account.
Perfect.
Okay, anyone else? Roll call, please.
Wellnuts,
Yes.
McIntyre,
Yes.
Esau,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Olson,
Yes.
Burdick.
Yes.
Motion passes. Whew, I think that's all you had.
Yes, we discussed some future budget
Yeah.
items, but nothing was carried out on that.
Public safety.
We met tonight at 5:45 PM, and we went over the budget items, or some of the things that the police department is requesting with inside type stuff, with background investigative training, police officer training, and maybe a copy machine, either lease or buy a new one. We're looking at numbers, what City Hall's went through, to do some good comparisons about what's the best option there. And then there was a request for another squad car, trade in the oldest, what we did over in the past, and the ballistic vest. I know Mayor Chris did a tribute last year or something like that. So there's ballistic vest too requested, and some taser type equipment and training and so forth. So that was what we discussed with the budgetary type items.
All right, thank you. Anything from the tree board?
The tree board is applying for grants, and they also discussed their budget. And they are working on a racetrack park planting project, getting ready for that.
Thank you. Anything from the fire district?
Yeah, a couple quick updates. We had a meeting last Thursday. We will be meeting in the next couple weeks, hopefully the first week in October, to talk, or having a work session to talk budget. At last Thursday's meeting, we honored 2 retirees from the fire department, one of them being Mayor Lund, 26 years of service. So thank you for your service, Chris, and one other individual.
I said, I'd like to thank the district board for allowing me to do it for that long. I know the last few years wasn't quite as involved as previous years, but...
It was wonderful. We presented Chris and the other individual with really nice collage of pictures, and then the back flap, I guess you call it, from your fire code.
Who's the other one,
But
Candy?
Mike Collins is the other one.
30 years with
So
Mike.
Mike had 30 years and Chris had 26 years. So 2 individuals with a total of 56 years with the district. So congratulations.
Thanks.
And that's it from fire.
All right, thank you. Next item is discuss and consider introducing and approving the first reading of City of Edgerton Ordinance 1806, Charter Ordinance Amendment to Section 2.015, Ward Boundaries and Aldermanic District Boundaries, and Section 2.02, Elected Officials to change electing alders from districts to at-large.
I'll make a motion to do so.
Second.
Discussion. Okay, hearing none, roll call.
Wellnuts,
Yes.
Esau,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Olson,
No.
Burdick,
No.
McIntyre,
No.
Motion fails. That one required 4 votes from the council alderpersons, so as a charter ordinance, it needed to be 2/3. So that has failed, and we won't have a second reading. Next item is consider approval of the Rock County 2019 Joint Powers Agreement.
I'll make that a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is that Mark?
Yep.
Something we've done number of years here, so I think everybody's probably seen them, maybe, maybe Dave and Jim haven't, but. Any discussion? Roll call.
McIntyre?
Yes.
Wellnitz?
Yes.
Burdick?
Yes.
Isa?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Olson?
Yes.
Motion passes. Next item is to discuss and consider 2019 budget. Sure.
Page 9 of your packet is the, I'd say preliminary capital list. Maybe it's pretty close to final. If you recall, we talked at the last meeting regarding borrowing. You should have received in your mailbox just a draft. The mayor requested at the last meeting, copy of that, kind of indicating how the current debt plays in with the future debt that we spoke about. So some of the committees have met about these items. At this point, this is just an all-inclusive list. There isn't certainly any prioritization. That will be up to you as we move through the budget and get a bottom line so you know what you have to remove. There's been some background provided to you on public safety, public works, parks, and pool will meet this week and talk about their projects. So certainly if you're unfamiliar with those, Ann is here this evening to assist. And library board has met preliminarily and have their budget requests out also, which you probably haven't necessarily, some of you maybe have not heard about. So we can try to, we're all here, we can try to answer any questions you may have about these projects if you have any this evening.
I just, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Ann, since you're here, I didn't make the last park board meeting, but looks like there's a lot of modifications or upgrades you need at the pool down there with the electrical replacement and sand filters. Are they getting pretty, or you get background?
They're bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're bad.
So the electrical equipment we put in, we got a preliminary budgeting numbers just from Westfall.
Okay.
And we called them maybe 6 times this summer because we were having problems with the pump, the electrical vacuum locking, or we had problems with the connections and the breakers and things like that. So they recommended that we just put in all new electrical. So that's what that one is.
Sure.
The sand filters haven't been changed since 2001. And so those, he would take out the sand and put new sand in and get all the internals and things, and so then it would help the filters operate
And
at a
what's
better rate.
what's common to have that changed, the sand filters changed? Do you have any
I
idea?
don't know that answer.
It just would be nice to know, or do they suggest every 5 years? Do they, I mean, every other?
I can ask him. I'll ask him when we're not.
Just curious, yeah.
And then the water slide evaluation, I contacted Burbach, who was the original builder and engineer with building the pool. And because the pool is 27 years old, that slide needs to be replaced. He would come and evaluate it, and the slide company that made that slide is no longer in service. So the original thing was to do $8,000 to do the whole project from start to finish, and he sent me an email, and I asked if we just do the evaluation next year, what would it cost, and then we could put the rest on to 2020, and he said it was $500, so we could change that one to $500, and that's a good savings for right now, plus reimbursements, he said.
So you're thinking that the slide wouldn't need to be replaced then next year?
Not next year, but we want to get it evaluated so we could replace it in 2020.
Okay.
Oh, okay, yep.
Is that the duck?
No.
No.
No. That's
It's
the
from-
regular water
Get a picture of
slide
it?
Between the two.
Between the two,
Okay.
from the top
So
to
there's
the bottom.
So there's 2 slides there, right?
Correct.
Okay.
If you want to call the duck a slide.
Lane in a
It
slide?
might be for
Depends on how
you.
big they are.
All right, we're
The
good.
big person slide.
Okay.
There
Thank
you go.
I don't need no pictures coming out here.
The reason why I brought a couple of them things up, because I know the pool's like, what, 27 years
It
old?
is 20, yeah,
And it's
over
getting,
91. So
yeah,
we need to start replacing some of the infrastructure things to make it last long.
yeah.
We are getting it repainted this year, which will help.
How is the concrete in that? Is it holding up, is it cracking here and there?
It's
Top?
holding up pretty good. I mean, there are some pieces that have come out, like
Okay.
it's pitted, but I think with repainting, it'll be
Okay.
okay.
So the popcorn popper, is that an additional one, or is that replacing one?
Replacing the one, because it has one door that isn't like, I already replaced the like plastic on the one side, but the other side has missing pieces, so I can't put new plastic on it. So
So is that at,
through this year.
I see, is that at the pool? Do you have one at the pool, and you also have one out at the park, or do, okay.
And we took it over in 93 from Catfish.
Wow. It lasted a while, didn't it?
Got my hands around.
I remember old Catfish doing that. I had one more. The North Main Storm Sewer, where are you gonna, is that at Lad Lane, Tom, or what's the North Main Storm Sewer? Is that down by the old Nunbush? Oh, it says North Main Storm Sewer?
Shoe Factory.
Shoe Factory? Okay, gotcha, the reroute, okay. And I might as well bring it up since I'm talking, hopefully the last question, is maybe the library director gives an update on some of her type of stuff?
Sure.
And I heard through the grapevine, there's a lot of stuff happening.
Yeah, so the equipment part, the computers, we have 25 computers in our building, so it makes sense to be cycling those out instead of doing all at one time. So that's what the 5 is. We did some this year, but we have some more that should be replaced. Under our projects, the biggest and most urgent is our AC. We have 2 AC units on the top of the building, and they are basically broken. I mean, they're kind of patched together to keep us cool this summer. There's no dehumidifying component that's working right now, so we're running dehumidifiers in the building to keep the humidity down and save our books and carpeting and things like that. So I didn't anticipate, that was going to be quite this urgent, but it is. So
they're basically failed, the roof-mounted ones? Do you know who got, probably it's a hard question to answer. I wonder who we got them from and who installed?
well,
Original, okay.
so we've had a local company just kind of doing some Band-Aids to keep things going, but
Okay. Who do you got
that's not a
helping you?
long-term solution.
Who do you got helping you? I'm kind of curious. I know a lot of contractors, and I just
Right
curious.
now, Clark Heating and Cooling.
Okay.
So that's an estimate they gave. We obviously haven't, put it up to.
That's good.
The interior painting, 2 years ago, we repainted the lower level of the library, but there's still one stairway and the upstairs that should get repainted at some point. So again, that's, 2006, so just trying to keep some of these updates, keep our...
Could I ask a question regarding the paint? Do you know what the cost just for the paint would be without hiring someone to do it? Do you know what difference that would be? Okay.
Good question. Yeah, we didn't get to it last winter.
You guys get the painting business.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I was questioning.
We did do some carpeting replacement on our computer area this year, and the stairway, I had that in the budget, but we ended up with a more urgent project, which was some of our gutter and elevator maintenance, so I got this back on here. There are no holes in the carpet yet, but there will be, and then it will be a dripping hazard, so we have about 250 people that use our building every day, so it's a lot of wear on the carpeting. And then the concrete ramp, we have kind of the sidewalk in the back of the building, the parking lot building, and then there's a ramp. And there's several sections that have gouges of concrete out or cracks in the sidewalk, so I kind of estimated a price, I don't see the price on there, but using the city's sidewalk replacement cost, so I don't know what I had estimated that, I don't see that.
I can add that in. I was going to have Tom take a look at that and see what is
You could probably
non-compliant.
get a better estimate than me counting the squares and using city formulas.
I gotta ask on the voting machine, you wanted 2 of them?
What it is actually, it will replace our handicap voting machine. It's kind of a big anchor that sits in the corner that no one uses. There's a new machine called Express Vote. It's a real easy touchscreen machine. Uses a blank ballot, and it can be used. Why I wanted 2 is because I think I can encourage more regular voters, not just handicap voters, to use this machine. It would cut down on the number of printed ballots. If we ever run out of ballots, it just starts with a blank. So I'd like 2. We definitely need 1 because our county is going to switch over for the handicap machine, get rid of the big auto mark that we have now. But I think 2 would be really, I think the voters would really like using it because it's quick, easy, and you can't make mistakes on it because it won't let you overvote, it won't let you cross parties like this last election. So I'm hoping there'll be money left over after the November election, that we might have some money to be able to carry over to help pay for part of that cost, but till November I won't know.
Yeah, thank you.
What is the racetrack park old entrance fence for 2,500?
It's the barricades that have been up at the old entrance for a long time, putting up some kind of more permanent solution there.
Why do we barricade that?
Yeah. It's not an entrance any longer, so we don't want people going in and out of there only in an emergency. So the intention all along was to leave that kind of for parking and emergency exiting in case there's an event at the park where we need to move people out quickly, but we don't want people going in there. So it'll be some kind of barrier that's more attractive than barricades and more permanent than barricades.
Why don't we want people using that as an entrance?
Well, the whole reconstruction of the park was to get it out of that intersection and bring everybody to the new intersection. So that was all part of the concept when the park was redesigned. So now it was retained primarily, as I said, for parking for the deer pen area and for exit in an event of an emergency.
I think it should be opened up. So, I don't see any reason why we can't use it as an entrance or exit. And I don't like the looks of the barricades sitting there.
I would agree.
So a more permanent one would be something that would open up and
Swing.
block off the right turn, so people coming out during 4th of July after the fireworks have to go straight rather than turning right, and everybody coming out of the other drive would have to turn right rather than turning left and get traffic split up. Make the flow out of there better then. And I could see why you don't want people going in, because if you have them coming in both ways, it's somewhat of an uncontrolled intersection, and you're going to have somebody mad at you coming in there, especially when there's a lot of traffic at one time.
You kind of mentioned as an exit though?
Yeah.
That's why it was retained.
Just on the big events that you have a lot of traffic leaving at once.
Yeah.
When the fireworks is over, you have a lot of traffic leaving.
Right.
That's why it was retained for those instances.
Ask about it.
So I have a question up to DPW, just because, Tom, you know I love to talk to you about your snowplows and your lawnmowers. You've got an 8-foot plow, snow plow, I assume that's a snow plow, and then down below, 2 used snow plows. So, tell me about that.
The 8-foot plow would go on the front of a pickup.
Oh, okay, it's the,
blade.
okay, it's a blade, okay, got it. Do we have, would that be replacing one, or is that a brand-new one?
It's a new.
Additional, I mean.
No, they've never had
It
one.
would
Oh, you haven't ever had one?
would be replacing the end loader, the big end loader for doing the parking lots, rather than having that big heavy piece of equipment out, and they could push the snow around with that, and if you had to come and pick it up, they could get it out of the way, but.
It's not replacing the end loader, it's just,
Not-
it's
right,
taking
in
the place
addition-
of it for use, yeah.
So this, you'd put this on one of your
Pickup
trucks?
Yes.
And it would be for doing
Parking lot.
Parking lots.
the small parking lots? Got it.
Great idea, Tom.
So what would you use the end loader for? Do you get, let me use it for other things?
Else, yeah.
You just, okay.
Yeah.
You just wouldn't use it for that, okay. And then the 2 used plow trucks, are those the big snow plows? So it would be replacing 2?
2 older ones.
Are they in pretty bad shape?
Yes.
And when was the last time, did we buy a new one last year? 2 years ago?
15.
Oh my gosh, where's the time gone? Okay, and,
And we spent 163,000 for one.
one new one. So with that one new one, the 2 used ones, you're okay with used ones, you're saying?
Well,
No, I'm not opening the door for new ones. I knew when I said that it didn't come out right. But I mean, you can get
to
some,
replace 2
okay,
because they are getting to the end of their life.
okay,
So I can't wait until 2023 to buy one more.
okay.
And then wait until whenever to buy one more. We need to replace at least 2
Okay.
sooner.
Okay, nobody's hit the chief up yet.
Well, I'm getting there.
Oh, that's right, he's quitting anyhow.
We can really hammer them now.
I just want to ask about the speed trailer. We still have the one back there, don't we? Is that, still need some work done to it, or
That is probably beyond,
beyond work?
right.
Oh, yeah.
It's just electrical issues that are completely non-functional.
Okay.
I think it's going to cost more to get that one back into shape than, we were hoping to get some grant money. We haven't come through with that yet, so the hope is still there.
Yeah. There's not a county-wide one that's used around, is there? The county doesn't have one that they
County has 1 or 2, and they put it out as they
use it themselves?
So Tom, do you have a copier now?
Yeah.
And is it, so it's just old and you're looking to replace it?
The lease for this one is up in April.
Okay,
So I have to decide if we want to purchase one or
Okay.
continue a lease come April.
got it.
And City Hall is going to put some numbers together and so forth, according to administrator, to see the pros and cons of leasing. versus-
Either way, Candy, we have to get a different one. It just
Yeah.
depends on how I
Yeah.
feel about it.
Okay.
Question on the Veterans Building. Are there no anticipated costs associated with the noise that was reported? That was all taken care of in 2018?
There's nothing planned in 2019 to deal with any issues with the Veterans Building capital-wise. So there's been no improvements made in 18, and there aren't any planned improvements made in 18 at this point.
And Candy, I got an answer back on typically sand filters are changed for outdoor pools every 10 years, indoor pools 5 years.
Okay, and
We
we,
did it in 2001.
Oh,
for 10 years. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
We know we're way behind on that. Thank you.
Well, I'm glad you got Sweeney Road up there. I think that street is actually almost impassable.
Want any direction as to leave this in, or until we get the numbers all together?
It's up to you.
If there's
Everything will go in to get to the bottom line if that's the way you choose to proceed. If you just aren't going to do a project because you just aren't going to do it no matter what the bottom line is, you could make motions to remove things now if you wish. But we won't have a bottom line. And even the first meeting in October, we'll still be missing some revenues, so we won't be able to, we'll get you the ballpark probably, but we can't get any final numbers.
Yeah, I just like to see the final numbers. I do have to say, by touring the pool to our parks earlier this year, when you showed us, I mean, the electrical was in really bad shape. Everything's rusty, it's old, it just, not, like you said, it's not working right. I think these things that with the pool, other than I can't speak about the water fountain or the equipment caddy, everything else just, I mean, it really needs it.
I haven't been there in over 5 years, but I remember the water fountain, and I think you could use a new one.
The breaker boxes are just corroded to
Yeah.
the point of wanting to fall off the wall.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? They're in bad shape.
I think there's a standard procedure for all outdoor pools to do stuff like this.
Yeah, and I think we forget how old it's getting now, you know? And then I guess, too, from the library perspective, Kirsten, you've really been struggling through with some of these major events that have happened there with the pool, the AC, and that you can't run a library and have that valuable stuff in the library as far as the books and everything without a decent air conditioner and dehumidifier.
And the slip and fall hazard when
Yeah.
the floors are dewy.
Yeah, I give you a lot of credit for being up on top of this stuff.
Chief, I just have one more question. I know we already visited the copier, but is the copier lease $1,300 per year to lease one?
Yeah.
And I know that the technology changes so often, almost like a cell phone, but what is a life expectancy on a copy machine?
I
For your
would
use.
expect, because the leases go 5 years, that's their life expectancy.
Okay. Oh, so but it's $1,300 per year and it's a 5-year lease?
Yeah,
Is that currently what you're-
$108 a month, I believe. That's what the lease is.
Or was?
Was or is until.
You don't know what the new one is
Is
yet.
until April, but yeah, the lease is.
The new one might be different.
Right. You're comparing a new copier to a 5-year-old lease rate, so
Yeah.
keep that
Lease
in
rate
mind.
could be
The lease
higher.
rate might be higher for the new one.
And you guys leased one here at
No, the last time we did the evaluation, we thought it was cost-effective to purchase, so we did the purchase. That's what the Altupers and McIntyre indicated, that we would try to pull our numbers out and see how we are. We may be 5 years into that copier.
Oh, I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm guessing, and I don't know what your numbers are at the police department, but we run a lot of paper through ours because we do all the packets
Yeah.
here. So I think it's probably been a pretty good investment for us.
Yeah.
With the lease, is there any maintenance with it?
Yeah, we can give you all those numbers, what our maintenance are, and then what the maintenance costs are, all of that stuff, except for, and some leases can have the toner and all the other things, others don't, so it kind of depends on the lease arrangement that you have.
When you purchased, did you guys get a maintenance agreement with it, or
We didn't.
didn't? Okay.
No, we have a contractor that we call in, and they're here pretty regularly.
As needed, or?
Yep.
They do, right?
And we
Okay.
found it to be, well, the maintenance agreements are crazy. I mean, just go
Right.
with a lease then, I think, was our determination if you're going to sign a maintenance agreement, so.
Might as well lease, okay.
We took the risk, and I think we've come out pretty good on it, but we can get those numbers together.
Yeah, Chris, I'm glad you requested that, or it was nice to look at.
You look at it, and you look at the years down the road, and you mentioned the last truck was in 15. Them purple lines get pretty long a couple of years down here, which is giving us a little room, but time goes by pretty quick. So that could drop off and will drop off, and we can hopefully do some major projects and get some of these things fixed up that need it here.
Okay, so I want to make sure I read that right. So the purple is new debt, meaning
Potential.
potential. Okay.
That's the
That leaves us at that.
Okay,
If you don't increase your top line, if you continue to have 600,000, regardless of what happens with all prices, you stay at 600,000, that's how your debt is broken up.
okay. So we've got that much room for debt in 2028.
Yes, it
I
doubles.
see.
The $1 million we borrow every
Yes.
4 years becomes $2 million
Got
because
it.
you pay off a big debt issue.
Okay.
Like I said, it's nice to see that, so you think,
Anything else? Anything else you need?
No, we're just going to start
Okay.
pulling the operating numbers together now and see how close we can get, what holes will be left for us on October 1st, but I assume those will be on the agenda and we can start talking about where we are.
And we have personnel this week too, that'll help with,
That's a big question mark in the budget right now, are wages and benefits.
If no one else has anything, we'll move on to the next item. Good, okay. Mayor, alderperson, and staff reports. I don't have anything except that light right in the middle there is leaning a little bit, and that's bugged me for a long time.
Yes, I know, it makes me crazy.
So, other than that, I don't have anything.
I get a lantern.
Anyone else? No one else? Okay.
motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.